and I'm paraphrasing. He said,
We're
"Well,
live,
maybe."
just FYI.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm
No
sorry.
problem.
No, go ahead. I just
Not
wanted to,
sorry.
before you said anything, if you didn't want to share with the world.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you do want to
Okay.
share with the world, go nuts.
Hey, well, yeah, I'm looking to apply for uh disability benefits, so that's going to take a billion years in a day, so I'll do that
Mhm.
tomorrow. Start that whole fucking process. But no, I was no, this guy had said that because your dad didn't know how to deal with an autistic child, that's why he was abusive. So he was trying to make an excuse. Although he kind of like said he didn't frame it as such, that I knew that's what he was talking about.
Mhm. Yeah. It is. Hey, yeah. It's again. Well, the thing is, like, sometimes it's like the fine line between like explanation and like excuse, as it were, and it's kind of like I I don't know. It's just like it's so easy to make it sound like, oh well, I'm the asshole because like my dad abused me, as it were, but or like I have like addiction, which is why I like do horrible stuff, as it were. But like you got to be so hard to like know to say like I'm not saying this as a excuse, I'm saying as an explanation, blah blah blah.
Well, here's an explanation, but see, people, well, it's like see what's more fucked up about it is this is a guy that then got on to me about messing with girls and acting a creep around them, but you'll notice I don't bring up my disability when it comes to that, but he's like saying, well, your dad, it's like, okay.
Interesting.
But in reverse, if I use my autism to talk about, oh well, I can't talk to women because it's like, no, you wouldn't use that as an excuse. So why are you using, I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Now, and that's people on left, our side. I mean, there's a lot of shitty lefties out there.
Oh yeah,
Hmm.
Yeah,
We
like
talk about this
Vosh
like
and Caleb Maupin and Peter Coffin, and they're
mhm.
definitely actually leftists.
It's well again it's just like what do we define as like a leftist, as it were. It can be like it's just like as simple as like, well, someone that like believes that like capitalism is bad, we got like to do capitalism, or believe that like power and distribution should be like distributed like evenly, as it were.
I was
That's
about
like
to say because
technically
there are a lot of fascists who think capitalism is bad, but that's mostly because they think the Jews own it.
yes, exactly.
there's that. Yeah, because I went out to San Francisco one time like a couple years ago, and I dealt with a lot of like classist ass liberals out there too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Um,
they're not
they,
leftists; they're liberals.
Liberals are not leftists, yeah, but that's why the
but
like, people
but
in
yeah, a lot of
America,
liberals and
US,
progressives aren't as progressive as they like to think.
a
yeah,
lot of I mean class feminists is word, they're all for they're feminists and like progressive in all other ways except for class. But oh, FYI, hello comrade ibot, hello Mithro, hello cutie flutie. I know. Okay, everyone, cutie flutie, we know cutie flutie. You remind me if you correct me if this is correct, that is actually radical bacon, or reactor is
Mm,
critical. Oh, so and they just like finally got their branding because like they're busking as well with a flute. Is
gotcha.
they're doing the Jethro Tull thing. I don't know if she says they are as good as Jethro Tull, but like they can they know how to get Carnegie Hall.
You're
Practice,
dating
practice,
yourself with
practice.
that. It's Lizzo. Lizzo's the flautist. Everyone knows that,
Oh,
right?
the Lizzo is the flutist. Yes, exactly.
Flautist.
Because she's
Flautist.
flautist. Flautist. So and hey, Mithra, hey Joe, how is everyone doing? I'm right now. Okay, yes, okay, I was correct. I'm busy like sharing, and now I'm just like sharing the link to all the discords, and like it will be like done afterwards. So like same question extended to like the people in the live chat as well as to the people in the call. How are you all doing? Yeah, it's that
Oh,
kind of
right. They
week,
can't
isn't
talk. They
it?
don't have microphones. That's a weird thing to do, geek.
As I'm opening that question to the live chat and to you guys as well.
I'm doing okay. Spent a couple of hours last night driving for Uber. Made 150
oh,
Mm,
bucks. Then 100 more bucks from their signing bonus.
oh, I
mm.
I I actually saw I actually did Lyft. Didn't make as much money as I thought I would because like living in Tallahassee with college kids, they don't really pay as much as I thought they would. I guess
I
I
got a
just
couple of
suck at.
tips last night, but the thing is, with Uber, I was doing my best to take advantage of that surge pricing.
Hmm.
trying to stay downtown as the bars were closing.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
that's when I was driving last night. Was about 10 o'clock, and then again or about 9 o'clock, and then around 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
I was doing Uber, but I had a fender bender. They wanted me to pay a $50 like like I guess tutorial fee to like learn driving rules. So I was like,
Well, ouch, ouch. The social, the scholar, the sexual scholar. Why do you want to bite us? This is where, ow, it's, oof. Like, and how are you doing? And like, you're, I don't recognize the screen name of the sexual scholar, but like, you might
That
be
would
one of our,
be that one. Not Ozma.
the Civia.
Emily.
Oh, or like EMZ, or like context switch, as it were.
Um,
Maybe you are. No,
YouTube
tell us.
channel. I just know that I follow him on Mastodon as the sexual scholar.
Hey, Phoenix, how you doing?
I'm totally blanking.
Is oh wait. Aaron
Oh,
Green?
I'm sorry to hear that, Metro.
what?
Oh,
What was going on?
Oh shit,
that
Joe. God damn, everyone's having a shitty week. Way to open that floodgate, geek.
I just asked how people are doing, but like the White Crone, Aaron, yes,
There we go.
Aaron Green,
Yeah.
hello.
Wait, what's going on? What's happening?
This
Joe
is
had a shitty week. Mithril has had a shitty week as well. Aaron is
this is
too. It's just
Yeah.
yeah, it's
a lot
been
of
like
rough
a
stuff
rough.
going around.
Yes,
Yeah,
uh,
I've had a I wouldn't say maybe it was a shitty week, but it's kind of always a shitty week when you're poor and you can't
Mm.
really like the things you
mhm,
want. It's kind of
yeah,
always a week.
uh,
About to get my car taken away, so
oh yeah, that's rough. That's worse. So like yeah, so Mithril after a mini stroke, I was like being good using public transportation. We went around the corner and I wasn't saying enough, and may have like fracture a rib. I'm just great. Ouch. And then yeah, Joe's like knee 3-year-old niece is in the hospital after drowning, only on alive because of the machines. And so yeah, it's a rough week for that. And then everyone else is like have like yeah, yeah, pain's too high, or like, or like other issues have been pretty bad. Everyone deals with like a sword of Damocles, so I won't complain much as the word. Yeah, I kind of right that. But my week is just like standard: work 60 hours, work a lot, and okay, apart from that, and so like I could complain. But I can't complain because I would be that guy if I was like, "Oh, you have it all rough, and let's hear about my stories." Just no, I won't do that.
I will ask the company the dealership that I got the car from yesterday. Can I just keep it? Like, can it be a gift from you guys? Because I don't know. Then it won't hurt to I guess ask, but
I guess so, but like,
Well,
yeah,
unless
I
they
don't know.
think that you're threatening them. You're brown.
you know,
Can I keep this? You're trying to steal it?
Hmm.
They probably
no,
wouldn't
I
do that.
I just needed to get a fucking dumbass job. I don't know.
Is well, that's the thing that like, hey,
That's,
actually, this conversation I had with Linequin and like Jay Soundlander last night, and that like Linequin was someone asked Linequin where's the setting for the next Fallout game, Fallout 5, and Linequin suggests like Gary, Indiana, because it was a company town. So it like just like coal mine town, company town, and just like with everything else, it like let's see Joe McClure, they were able to like head down and down to like they were to visit with family, and like I paid for my hospital and mom so that we can spend the night at least, and like not being poor made it this is easier to deal with. Yeah. Um yeah. Oh, that's cool. To Cutie Food, you got to lead at the performance at a church, and might as well take their money. Yeah, yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. Because like you're just there to play the food. You don't have to like share your opinions on things. Um,
Just
let's
remember,
see.
the collection plate is usually emptied almost immediately after or during the service into a safe. So that's when you rob it.
No,
Before.
no, 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 no. At
stand
least not churches. It's like I'm not going to even like go into the discussion of like which churches are okay to rob or something like that. It'll be the mega churches, if that, as or.
don't rob the black churches.
Well, yeah, exactly. Not the black churches.
Big
Although
churches and bigot churches.
Although I've definitely been to black churches where the people do look dazzling when they go praise God. I don't know.
Well,
Mm,
that is a different issue. That's
Motherfuckers rocking
conspicuous
in there,
consumption.
motherfuckers
mm.
rocking in like Cadillacs and shit. You guys like my t-shirt?
Uh,
Blink
yeah.
182.
Oh yeah, Edamata State, Blink-182.
And I got it. I had it for like 10 years. It still looks. I like it like faded.
I remember that album. That's those songs come out when I was in high school.
I think I heard one of their songs on Kids Bop.
Yeah, say all the small things was a big hit. It was like top 40. It was on all those radio stations. So that's the biggest hit that they had, and that was off of the Enema of the State album. And so yeah, it's just like send me okay. Preparing dead animal flesh for cold preservation. I see what you're talking about. Not sure what I'm going to visit. The fan, perhaps. So like, that's right. And this Saturday is Phoenix's birthday. So give Phoenix money. Charity links, and also like Phoenix's like links are in the charity links page. I gotta update that because like friends are going through a terrible situation and or need help for it like soon. You know, in Minecraft, yes, I would rob the Vatican Bank, absolutely, because like it was actually a discussion I had with my brother. So what kind of
Vatican
like
Archives definitely
mhm.
would be worth.
I wish someone would give me some money because I do want to get like a pizza, but that's not important.
um you you have I also you have the right to ask this or even for like frivolous stuff in since you're poor, but like
Everybody
you reckon
deserves the right to, simple pleasures. You don't have to be
mhm.
Well, according
constantly
to
suffering just because you're poor.
no, well, we're supposed to because
Well, no, but that's
re-
that's that's the top down thing.
Mhm.
well, it's black. You're black and autistic, so you're supposed to suffer. If you were just born white, I don't know. There's a lot of poor ass white folks around here too, but I don't know.
Yeah, and hopefully they realize that like the class oppression against us against them similar to like other people's oppressions, but also hopefully they will recognize that how
They're not.
um
Actually, there because see a lot of it. See, it's like in Florida and a lot of places in the South. They this whole like woke bullshit like gets their goat up. It's like, yeah, you fighting the woke, and that it's like, okay, yeah, but
but
you know what? You're still poor, so what the fuck?
it's
Hmm.
they honestly is just like if you can as like Lyndon B. Johnson said, if you can
I
convince
was
like
just
a
thinking
poor
LBJ too.
if you can convince a poor white man that he's better off than a poor black man for being white, then he won't notice that you're robbing
I
his
think it
like
was convince
pickpocket.
the lowest black man that he's better than the best black, or lowest white man that he's better than the best black man.
You can pick his
Then
pockets,
he'll let you pick his pocket.
and that's how the Republicans have won the South for the last 70 years. It's called the Southern Strategy.
It's
Hmm.
all the way back in like a Black Reconstruction, like
Well, though
WED,
that's
the
how the
both
Democrats won the South from
because they
Reconstruction
were the
to
Conservative Party at the time. Yeah,
no,
The
the
party's
white supremacist party.
the White Supremacist Party. Is is because like yeah, it's because like they were able to convince poor white people after like the Civil War that like they shouldn't like work with like the free black people as it were because like they will get like better wages as it were. So they broke up like unions based off of racism.
Hmm.
And so that's the whole thing is where it's even and even today I have spoken to like conservatives about like and they ask me what where you hey come on you should be fine being poor in the greatest country in the world but where you rather be poor in the USA or poor in Africa. Interesting, it chose Africa too.
Well, Africa has a lot of resources, but thanks to colonialism, it was.
Hmm.
Yep. So you can thank Europe for like colonizing Africa. Yeah, Metro, you have to like apologize for that. Even though actually, I don't think it was the UK that like directly did a lot of things in like Africa. Definitely the Dutch and the French for sure, and Belgium.
Well, they'll sit there like you'll have like colonial imperialist apologists, as I call them, like try to say, well, we brought them electricity. Not
Hmm.
really.
I just watched a Mia Mulder video about alt history, and
Mm.
and one of the YouTubers she talks about has a big fan base apparently. The alt hist guy or something like that says that yeah, the India would not have India is better off because of the British. And I think he says something similar about African colonialism too.
Imperialist apologetics.
Mm.
It's no,
Oh,
comrade.
I
No,
feel any
go
bad.
ahead.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's,
Comrade Abbott does have a good point. Never underestimate how helpful a pizza can be. It's not going to pay your bills, but a small amount of dopamine can like get the wheels rolling. And in fact, like on site times like NASA and like Lidocoin, that's why they have thrones. Even though like right now in the series, the thing that's going to happen with like NASA and Lidocoin that they have to like talk about on their streams and on Twitter. I'm going to have to update the charity links to like put these details in. Is NASA and Lidocoin have to move? Because like once their leases up at their apartments, single bedroom apartment in like northern rural Indiana, even though like Leonard has like said like where exactly they live or which city, essentially, not going to give those details now. Um, is that for the new lease, not only is there a bit of a rent increase, which would if it was just that, it would be suck, but it won't be that. But then they also have to pay for renter's insurance, $100,000 like policy. They don't have to pay $100,000. It's for a
It only
policy.
costs like
It's monthly.
$150, but still, that's cash you have to put down.
Yes. And the reason why that property that they have to do that for the new lease is that the property owners have a deal. Hey, this is Heretic. How you doing? The property owners have a deal with
no,
that insurance company. So again, capitalism is working to like push out the poor, essentially, as it were.
Hmm.
I think
And
I think now it's people just call it corporatism now, as opposed like it's like
That's not
it
real
makes
capitalism. That's crony capitalism.
yeah, that's no, seriously, like even like liberals like Steve Shives like patrons would say that too. Because yeah, they believe there's such thing as good capitalism. And I think even Steve, well, Steve thinks that like there doesn't have to be poverty under capitalism. He's just not convinced that like no, capitalism requires poverty, I guess. Um if you even accepted like to be as it doesn't excuse like a bit of exploitation, and if they wanted help, they could have like done it without like robbing them. So, yeah, exactly.
well, I
Oh,
mean,
it's referred to like Africa and like India being better off because they were colonialized and like imperialized. Uh-huh.
also like who when people like say shit like that, it's like how do you fucking know? Like, who made you the arbiter of oh what could have been better? And like
I really
what?
Mhm.
recommend Mia Mulder's video on that because she does a good deep dive into alternate history and alt history fan fiction, why the far right loves it, and why historians don't actually engage in it.
Well,
Yeah,
it's like
Historians explain the past, but they don't predict the future.
it's like the way she describes it is like, oh well, if it wasn't for us Europeans, you wouldn't be Wakanda. It's like what? Okay.
They
this
aren't
is
Wakandans.
Why?
That's the
Why?
point.
Why? So why are they? Well, why? Oh, I forgot. We just like, oh, God, I don't even want to deal with any of that because all it does is just piss me off. I don't even want to watch it.
AMC. I will EMC. I'm with you there as well for apologizing for white people's BS as it were. And in case also since like other people have joined in case you haven't like noticed like Cutie Flutie is a friend of ours. That's Radical Bacon. That's Radical Bacon's new account because they are now busking now and playing the flute. Um, you see, as and like the sexual scholar, I showed a video of it days ago of a black guy being harassed and handcuffed by cops because, of course, he looked suspicious. And they finally did check his ID, and he was an off-duty FBI agent. Yeah,
Well, that
Wow.
is sus, but not for the reasons they were thinking.
yes,
Okay.
exactly. Is and Conrad, I kind of agree with you that the Shives is a rad lib as it were, but he's still our friends as it were. I will still now to the point where it's just like I'll annoy him if I go on about like my anarchism and like I tolerate him for saying anarchism is like a bullshit ideology as where
I will
uh,
say I'm definitely becoming more won over by the revolution talk. I like just slightly more like
more yeah for
it's
more
yeah.
from for me, it's just like we're going to have to prepare for the collapse of some kind, or it's not necessarily the collapse, but the crumbles, because like I think that's kind of already happening now. The
Hmm.
infrastructure is like crumbling. There's already several derailments after the major one in East Palestine, and again,
Oh,
that was
we
a
have
controlled.
like a couple hundred derailments every year. They're just not usually as Syria as the one in East Palestine.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. Like we have people like shooting people for going on like just like driving into the like what the fuck? What's going on in this country? Holy shit.
Meanwhile, I'm trying to
When
radicalize Tracy Harris.
mm,
I know you're
uh,
also friends with her on Facebook, Joey.
okay, yeah.
Tracy Harris was a former co-host on the Atheist Experience, if
okay,
I'm remembering correctly.
yeah. Geez, guys, a white man who's been like trained by the U.S. military would plunder resources of indigenous people for money. Wow, what a stretch. Yeah, I know, Phoenix. Uh, No, I don't have access to Radical Bacon account because, like, of course, Google is wild. Yeah, I have had. Unfortunately, some of my friends have had that problem of like,
Mm,
for a while, a friend of mine couldn't even log into their Twitch account because, like, it's once like you tied in a two-factor authentication to a certain phone number and you somehow lost that phone number. As where, thankfully, with my service, I can transfer my phone to like any of the new phones I get. Thankfully, oh, that's right, I gotta like get a SIM card for my tablet because Sprint is now bought up by T-Mobile, so I'm now on T-Mobile. And the phone I have sucks. It sucks. It's shitty. Like I couldn't transfer over the like old phone I had, which I love. It was great because the SIM card was integrated into the phone. I can't remove it at all, so they had to give me a new one.
I wish more
Uh,
people start fighting back against this bullshit.
a lot of people. There's the shame is still so big with so many people. They are afraid to admit that like they need help or something like that. A lot of people that I know that like afraid to like admit that or ashamed to admit that in some ways, regardless of political like alliance as it were, or some which I have been able to help out just a little bit and like promote it like, hey, this person needs help and something like that, then they are able to get like the help they need at the time. But it's the pride sort of thing, is we are afraid to like admit that we are poor in that sort of way. There was
ashamed.
like a friend. Yeah, shame. There was a friend of a friend who was like, he has a job, so he's able to get money, but of course, the paycheck to paycheck, as it were. And then, like 1 week, he was just like without food. It was going to go hungry for like 3 or 4 days, and yet he felt ashamed to like ask for help. Sometimes it's family dynamics because of how people are raised and that sort of thing. It's kind of like there's a part of like the culture that like instills in that, but also like some people's family shame. Even Lincoln admits that like she has to like get herself not to do this. Is that she has to feel like if she's been given something, that she has to pay it back 150%.
Yeah,
And it's to which
that's
I
actually normal, according to David Graeber. Debt 5,000 years.
oh yeah,
That's the
right,
way
right, yeah,
people operated for years was through credit in exchange, and so that
yeah.
is normal. It's just that capitalism twists it and perverts it and twists the debt relationship so that people
Mhm.
or hate and fear debt rather than acknowledging it as the normal way society is supposed to operate.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen Star Trek any Star Trek Picard lately?
Nope.
I have not watched. I have not watched any new track whatsoever. I
I've
still
not
don't have
watched
Paramount
really any
Plus.
Trek. I've never been able to get into it.
Strange New Worlds has been pretty good.
I heard good things about Strange New Worlds, but like is, and I'm sure once I finally get like Paramount Plus, I'll get into it. But it's just like again,
See, is that the
I
one
work
with
this.
a white guy at the center of the show?
And I gotta tell
This,
you, what
yes, it is. Oh, okay, what's this Star Trek show? It doesn't have like a white guy at the center. Okay, Voyager with
Disco.
a female, then Disco, and like
The
Deep
two
Space
most
Nine.
hated Star Treks, huh?
There's that. Uh, cover.
although what's her face in Strange New Worlds, the security chief, she's a badass.
Mm. See, Comrade Abud has a comment. We need to abandon the optics games, getting caught up with like the you think other people thinks that keeps us trapped in the economy, in the society, and by the government. I agree, Comrade Abud. Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Um,
see that's the thing about like what I've noticed about the whole abortion thing is like they talk about like the Republicans are like, oh, life, 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 but then it's like they want as many people to have as many poor people as possible in society so they can just throw them all away for the military industrial complex, the
mm,
minimum wage industrial complex, or the prison
mm,
industrial complex.
Mm-hmm.
So they because it's more money. They profit off of bodies. So
yes,
so
Gods
yeah,
in the Machine.
yeah. So it's like okay, like for me, okay, you're disabled and you're black. So already right there, you're already fucked. You're already fucked
Mhm.
already. Your parents died. Okay, so you
Yeah.
have no, so you're already fucked here, here, here. Thankfully you haven't been caught up in the prison system yet. So it's
Yet.
like so yeah, I mean that's basically what it all is about. It's people want to like say it's pro-life and all that, God, no, Jesus, God, whatever. I don't believe it's whatever. No, this motherfucker has killed more kids than ever. He flooded the world. He killed all the kids of Egypt when they did like no. God is the most
7 out of
mass
9
murder
pregnancies spontaneously terminate.
is the most mass
God
mother.
aborts 7 out of 9 babies.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, oh shit. Well, go dig deeper, and like the sperm, like all those
Mhm.
eggs, only one gets to like this motherfucker would make Ted Bundy
Mhm.
like a fucking saint. No, no, no. It has nothing to do with life being pro-life. It's all
But interesting how you do like mention that sort of thing about like all those burns that are like wasted. There are some fascists that actually go no nut and like believe that like if you masturbate that would be like a sin to the white race as it were because like all that sperms could have been potentially be white babies.
they would have been white poor babies, I guess.
Well, yes, but like yeah, exactly, but still, it's like yeah. I wish it was. It's just hard. I wish it was easy to get others to like change. It's where it's like it's not about. And agree, Joe. It's not about the babies. It's about controlling women. Is where it's the patriarchy.
It's that too. But yeah, I mean, it's about they want as many poor people as they can so that they can suffer through life.
Mhm.
And
They want to, increase the reserve army of labor, and they want
Mhm.
white babies specifically. They
Yeah,
want to sterilize brown people and murder brown people.
that they have.
It's
Yep.
how many
eugenics and capitalism. It's a whole big complex mess.
how many of these these like fascists actually look at like black porn? I'm just curious.
Some of them do.
A lot of them.
Yeah. Milo Yiannopoulos talked a lot about his like
What do you think?
black boyfriend.
Remember when they were all obsessed with cucks? And
Yes.
that's incredibly racist porn.
They
Not
they want
always,
to
but like 95%.
they want a big black dude to So I'm just I'm
Mhm.
just asking.
Again, like the Ian Danskin's in your studios videos on cucks is still really good because like he's kind of like a COVID, but honestly, he's an alt-right playbook on like a video as well because like of how the fascists and far right kind of like sexualize and eroticize their fetishization of like big black bodies, which they also
Not just it's
fear
like
because
every people that have been colonized have been sexualized in different ways.
oh
The
yeah.
spicy Latina, the
Mm,
squaw,
mm,
the submissive Asian. I mean, it's all,
mm.
and then the hypersexual, hyperviolent black body.
Joey has mentioned this in the past like streams before because like for like them to be indigenous they are fetishized just like with any like person of color but like the added thing about being indigenous of being rare.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then there's also disabled peoples being like have their own unique fetishization done onto them too, which is like, oh God, it's just like
hey, what do you
he's
mean they have their own fetishes? Because like I'm attracted to white girls, but I don't fetish. I don't know. Mhm.
yes, I mean, yeah. Sometimes even this fetishization is almost accepted or like normal or common, like yellow fever and that sort of thing too. And it's just like it's one thing to be attracted to like those kind of like people, and like, but it's another thing to like fetishize them. Is like almost a fine line, but just like it's, I don't know. It's when you become obsessive or creepy, that's where it's just like okay, ease off a bit or like saying like you would only date like Asians and you only date like black
Hmm.
people as were. If you're a black
Or that you would
person,
never date someone is
yes,
also a problem.
exactly. Is now again for people of color who don't want to deal with white people, I can understand. For like white people who don't want to like who never want to date like non-white people, that's a problem, as it were. I know it's a double standard, but it's just like you got to recognize that we live in a white supremacist, such a all patriarchal, blah 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 society, and that's the way it is.
I wouldn't say I would ever want to deal with white people. I mean, I deal with them a lot, but I don't know.
There are some that have expressed that they don't want to deal with like white people, or like it's just like specifically they don't want to talk with white people about race, and that's something that we have said several times before on this like channel as well. Because like, and Joey has like it said this directly. Okay, white people, if you are like on a journey to like read all the books and like to study all these things and to learn about that and go on a journey of being woke, as it were, in the actual original use of the word term woke, that's great and all. I don't have to be on that journey with you. I have my own stuff to deal with.
Yeah,
I
well, I agree with that. I'm not here to like nurse you on what you need to know how to be anti-racist. That's not my job. So
Exactly. You can read like even X Kennedy's like a book on how to be anti-racist. You don't have to go to your black friend and say, "Hey, look, I'm reading this book for you." It's just like don't make their emotional labor part of your journey. Just
Hmm.
do that on your own time and just like you can say to yourself, no, there's not going to be a person in
also,
college that's going to give you a cookie because of that.
you also don't need a trophy to be anti-racist.
Hmm.
Right.
That's just fucking common sense. So you don't
It,
need a
it
you don't need a reward for that.
Right, comrade, but people of color don't owe you hand holding and something like that. It's and it
Yeah, just like you say, you guys don't owe us money for all the bullshit. Well, I'm
Actually, we
just
kind of do.
we kind of do. I am in a Facebook group. I wish I could like have more money to give to people about like essentially they use the word reparations in that title, but it's like it's poor black people that are like asking for like a mutual aid and charity and that sort of thing too. And like totally again, totally fine with that because a lot of people are in like a lot of dire situations as were, and it's like and yeah exactly like a central scholar. We did no ally is bestowed upon to you by marginalized people as were and it's based on your actions, not by saying I'm an ally. And besides, we're out there to have a compasses. Some people say that they're a queer ally because they don't hate gay people. It's like, oh, okay, not hating gay people. It's just like the bare essentials of being a decent human being. That's making an ally. If you were going to go to battle with us and join in like a rally or like help throw a brick or something like that in Minecraft at the right situations or join in a protest or like or again this is the biggest thing. If someone is saying something like they use the like a slur something like that, and no one else calls out that person on that slur, even if there's not a gay person in the room, call out that person for using a slur. And I've done that before. Yeah, even at a bar with like coworkers, the person used the T slur rhymes with granny, and I had spent 30 minutes talking to him. I don't
Tyranny?
even know I was it, I don't even know it's like it's kind of like a short word for transmission, as it were. Or I don't even know if I was like out as non-binary then or not, but like this person has said several comments like he feels it's like it's unfair for trans people to get special treatment for getting surgery, corrective surgery, or so what if like my right hand is causing me like dysphoria or something like that? Can I get my right hand be removed? It's like actually yes you can, but like again like with communism, from each according to their ability and to each according to the need. Some people need more than others. Is it
yeah.
fair that like not everyone gets the same thing? I don't need like all that surgeries because or anything like that. Fortunately for me, like as being non-binary, my body doesn't cause me dysphoria. It's the idea of me being cis, just a man that causes me dysphoria in that way. If you're a trans, and I'll go here on the word. Yeah, exactly. Um, and yeah, a lot of gay people hate trans people so far.
I
And
think
like this is
it's
something.
not as much as J.K. Rowling and Patty piece of shit, whatever her name is, make it seem
Mhm.
like. Um,
Yeah.
I think according to surveys, lesbians are like the most supportive of like any group. I mean, that's not to say
Hmm.
that there aren't any, of course. It's just that it's overplayed in the media.
I can see that.
I
Um,
think.
yeah. But like anyone, but I'm just non-binary, not trans. Well, kind of trans, but like trans is an identity. So like other people's experiences can be different. And I want my friends calling a stabbing risk because I'm asking this a person to walk back that bigotry if they don't. they don't all fly across the table as like a whitey
You don't
bicolor
respect my
male.
friend's pronouns, I'm gonna identify as a fucking problem.
Yes, exactly. Hmm. Yeah, well, getting away with stuff might as well like make bigots afraid. Yeah, exactly, exactly, comrade. But again, that's why it's like we are in favor of punching Nazis, and no, just not just in Minecraft, but of punching Nazis because again, it is a crime. So we're not recommending to do it. However, if you do it, it's only cost
Just
a
be
dollar
aware
to do
that
that.
some jurisdictions that's just a $1 fine. So
Exactly. So. So like Isaiah, anything new happening in Florida that you report on since you are our Florida correspondent?
Yeah, well, we had some major ass flooding in Fort Lauderdale, and our governor wasn't there to assist with the recovery. He was somewhere talking about we're going. He was doing his Winston Churchill impersonation, saying, "Well, we will fight woke in the beaches. We will fight woke." I'm like, dude, if I kicked you in the nuts, you would fall down. Shut the fuck up. Like I'm
um,
like, dude, it's like take some photons. Like, shut the fuck up. Yeah, but see, anyway, he was over there, and we had this huge flooding. He also
Mhm.
like signed a bunch of bills about expanding this whole dumbass "don't say gay" thing. He he,
Yeah,
he thinks it's okay for idiots to walk around without licenses to carry a gun. And then he also expanded the anti-abortion thing with the 6 week abortion ban. So not good.
mm.
But like I
It's
said,
um,
we had pride in Tallahassee the other day. So
some places,
solidarity.
unfortunately, with like the anti-trans like bills and like legislation that passed in certain places, I think Tennessee, but some pride organizations have decided because of the political climate of the world, they will cancel pride. To which Matt Walsh, again, self-identified crypto fascist Matt Walsh and friends of J.K. Rowling's, said like, "See, that's another victory for us that pride got canceled." To which Curiosity screenshot that and like warned the gays were, if you're not in support of the trans allies, this is what can happen. They're not going to stay off for trans people; they'll come after you next. Essentially, hey, and yeah, there's it's for some people experiences is like a gays can be like bigots to like trans people and understandable as it were. And white gay men can also still be like racist as well too. But
racist,
Milo
sexist,
Yiannopoulos.
and a Republican.
Yes, exactly.
I've had some
Ten.
I've had some internet issues, but also I was wondering if someone was fucking with the signal.
Mm, honestly, for me, it's just internet issues as well. But yeah, like Tennessee, Georgia, Idaho, Missouri, something like that. Um, uh, Wet Mulch. That's the person's name from now on. Wet Mulch. Rat Pride here and like
Less what? Who?
wet mulch. Matt Mulch is like wet mulch. Rad Pride in here in like PDX is already organizing with Black Bloc and like the RCA and like the Black Rose Federation. Okay, definitely Black Bloc, awesome and it's cool, and the fact is Rad Pride also kind of like symbols all that sort of thing too, and like I'm familiar with the Black Rose Federation. Actually, I think they're pretty good. Um, yeah, exactly. Uh,
Can I ask a question?
Go ahead.
What's up?
Yeah.
Why? Why? Because like people say that I have difficulty making like friends and relationships. Why do I have why am I friends with you guys? I don't get it.
Shit happens.
We have similar interests. What?
Okay. Well,
Just because it's
So we
difficult
have,
doesn't mean it's impossible.
yeah. I mean, we
I,
connect.
I can talk to the people in Star Trek more than I can talk to regular people. I don't know if that's my fault or I don't
Oh
know.
no. That's your special interest, as it were, and like
Hmm.
you find other Star Trek friends, fans, or friends, or something like that. And you can talk to a lot of people. I don't think you have a problem talking to like the Steve Shives like patrons either, as it were, or that kind of group.
I don't think I have a problem talking to women either. I guess I don't know. But then again, like I always like say I have very unusual interests that I don't think a woman would be interested in.
Yeah,
They're
you
not
might
even
find some.
Yeah, yeah. I
Hey,
mean,
you are cute. Don't forget that I said you are cute. Hey, you like Avril Lavigne. There will be like girls that also like Avril Lavigne too. And that's a great, true, Mithra. We're a bunch of social outcasts too, I say. And yeah, that's the comrade I said. Honestly, we're all neurodivergent. Yeah.
Hmm.
it's
I
always
re
that it's cool to be. It's also cool to be social outcast because a lot of things I see in like society are stupid. It's boring. Oh, let's get up. Let's go to work. Let's go to a bar and drink our problems away. Let's like what this is stupid. This is
Hey,
boring.
don't
Why
attack
is
bars. That's my culture and heritage.
all right, frat
oh you
boy. Is to which like when I drunk water, my coworker joked and said, "Do you know that if like fish poop and pee in that water and have sex in it?" Like, yeah, that's true for your beer too. It's made with water. Huh.
No, that's pure
But
what's
beer,
called
filthy
the water?
alcohol. Alcohol is magic.
We
but
filter the water through. Yeah.
but the alcohol tastes like piss anyway. Um, Yeah, love truck. I'm less into like ever like no, there's something for everyone as it were. How,
Hmm.
but like the coolest poster or like a '90s like rom coms or something like that. Who knows? Blast from the past. See, Social Scar. I read long ago to be friends, people who have like similar interests, similar ethics, and different hobbies. Or okay,
I'm not,
similar ethics.
I'm not obsessed with that.
Interests.
I just like two of her songs. I'm not
Interests, not
like
ethic.
over the world with it.
Hmm.
I
Yep.
like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I consider myself a pretty average person. I'm not like,
Yep.
I don't know, just like, I'm not that like, ooh, okay, no, no. I think the chances have gotten better about me finding someone because I guess geek culture is much more acceptable than it used to be.
There's
So
less
I
in the closet in that way. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, because there was a lot of girls I would imagine who were into Star Trek and things like that, but they couldn't express it because.
Sometimes it's like the mean girl sort of thing. You have to like keep up an image and that sort of thing from like high school and middle school. And some people carry that thing until throughout their life as well. But like is Blast of Past my favorite live action movie and doesn't give enough attention. No, it's just Blast of Past still a solid movie. Yeah. Um.
It's it does. I did watch a pop culture detective video about the concept of being born yesterday, where
Yeah.
like how like a woman like is like kind of like oh she's from space and oh she doesn't know anything about the world. Blast from the Past kind of did the reverse of that, where
Yeah.
Brendan Fraser was in a bomb shelter for like 30 years, and he's kind
Hmm.
of this like
It,
dunce. I
so
don't know.
at least there it's kind of like it wasn't like Brandon Fraser was just born and suddenly is a man and something like that. No, he was
Hmm.
born and raised by his parents, but like he was raised sheltered and then what, but sheltered with like 60s cultures and that sort of thing and
Oh,
sense
and
of
the
mentality.
reason alcohol isn't killing the maggots is because alcohol preserves filth. It's a preservative.
Yeah, I
Mhm.
mean Clueless. Oh, I think one of my favorite ones is probably. Have you guys ever watched Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion? You guys seen
Hmm.
that one?
No, I haven't. I don't think.
Lisa Kudrow and I want to say Brittany Murphy.
That's no. Mira Savino.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. So I think that's one of my favorites. So I mean, like I said, now I guess maybe for a guy you wouldn't find that interesting, but I've
No.
always loved comedies directed by a woman because I feel like they're just more funnier.
Mm.
Like, cause like I've definitely watched Clueless and Rome, all that Mean Girls, and like there's not
Hmm.
really many like dick jokes, but if it's like like if it's like Grown Ups or something like that, like made by a man, it's like dick jokes, fart jokes. It's just like, oh come on,
That
are you
was
guys like
in the years just before Seth Rogen
Yeah.
and the frat pack took
Hmm.
over.
yeah
Judge Apatow or something like that and
yeah
other people like that. Yeah. Um. Let's see. So I got like a bit change of topic as it were, but like I have brought up Mr. Beast before, but like, what's your guys' opinions on Mr. Beast?
I've actually
Yeah.
never
Performative
heard of him.
philanthropy. I mean, all philanthropy is performative, but his is worse than most.
I've actually never even heard of him.
Uh,
Actually.
Honestly, I never heard of Mr. Beast until he came to Fortnite last season, as we're. But a couple of comments before I switched it on to since we're on it. Can we talk about how Bud Light targeted the wrong audience? Like pander to the queers is nothing new, but the trans folks I know have like better taste to like drink Bud Light as were. Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah, obviously trans people are going to drink PBR.
So okay, I actually like PBR. It's still beer, and I'm not the biggest fan of beer, but I can drink a PBR, and at least that one's only $3 at a bar. But then again, you're paying $3 for a PBR. I just like a bar.
I'll, I'll just drink Bud Light just to piss just to piss off conservative. I don't
It,
drink beer either. I'll guzzle that shit down. Oh, and by the way, I actually met a woman who actually worked at Bud Light at the Pride Fest in Tallahassee, and she
mhm.
said, "Yeah, we Bud Light's been supporting LGBT shit for years. I don't know where."
Well, yeah,
But it's
it's
rainbow
performative
capitalism.
bullshit by the
Yeah, I
corporations.
mean, sure,
Just
but
like we get pigs at Pride nowadays too. I mean, it's
Yeah, which is like okay, if there are some like current police officers that are happen to be gay or LGBTQIA plus or something like that, and want to go private, that is fine, but out of uniform. Just
I
mhm.
would say I would
Mike
say
can be gay. Officer Davis kills gay people.
okay, now I'm thinking of something really naughty when you said police officers being gay, like gay. I'm like, so can we have like like a porn where it's like I'm like this
We
criminal.
already do, I'm pretty sure.
there's plenty of porn at that as well. Unfortunately, like in real life, there's terrible things that those police officers do for with sexual assault as well. And that's a serious conversation and serious
Well,
subject.
no,
Which is
no, it's
again
only
why
sexual assault is a crime and it has to be defined as such, and most states don't define cops doing that as a crime.
It's
That's right, because cops can get away with it. There's no law to say what would happen if a cop preparates it does a crime that is on their law books as well.
it's a black woman and a white woman police officer. That's a good BDSM story.
Yes, and of course, like the sexual scholar, of course, bring this up. Rule 34, as always. But yeah, like Bud Light's just doing rainbow capitalism. They donated $100,000 to the GOP, as it were, just like Disney. Even though Disney's doing their thing against Ron DeSantis, as it were, just to like and have to like outsmarted Ron DeSantis and this sort of thing too. It's just like Disney's still Disney, so Disney's still a big corporations. Two
Guys, what?
girls, one cop. Oh, cutie fruity! It's just like. I thankfully never seen that original video. I'm aware of what happened during that video because someone it was been shown to someone on the radio and he was describing what was happening. I'm glad I've never seen the
I've
original.
seen the opening 5 seconds. I turned it off as quickly as
Yes, yes, exactly.
What are we
Now two
talking
I
about?
girls.
know that my threshold for that sort of stuff is not high. My friend once showed me a very different porno of two people having missionary position sex. I almost threw up several times.
Oh,
Because the dude was vomiting directly into her mouth the whole time. It was nasty.
Oh, yeah.
yes, there's some nasty stuff in porn. Oh, cutie flea. I wanted to forget about like
No,
girls
kid.
one cop, but
Bye.
oh wow, you almost cutie you almost single-handedly derailed this whole conversation just by that comment alone. Congratulations on that.
Yeah, keep
And for
that.
that, you get
No.
revenge.
But anyway, so as I was saying about Mr. Beast, yeah, it's just like Mr. Beast does a job behind his for empathy. It's all crowdfunding. It's like much of that. I don't know. So this was like brought up in like Discord as were esteemed events or thing. So yeah, in that YouTube short, Mr. Beast like tips a waitress a car, basically gives a waitress a car, that sort of thing too.
Mm-hmm.
But like when someone says like it looks at look at the comments, people are fuming over.
Mr. Beast.
Yes, exactly. Fuming because the car has like Feastables, the chocolate company he owns logo on it, as it were. Exactly. That's the thing. It's just like, and that's where I point out. It's just like, yeah, it's not that like people are mad at Mr. Beast for almost any reason or look for reason to be mad at it. I'm pointing out there's like, no, this is the problem with for empathy opposed to like charity, as it were, because the rich always benefit from philanthropy. Like Mr. Beast's car has a logo on it, and also we only see Mr. Beast do philanthropy when he gets like news coverage or in like a YouTube video. So he does his philanthropy for content. and that sort of thing. So he always gets something out of it, and that's the problem with philanthropy is that rich people always get something out of like doing charity or doing like benefits and that sort of thing too.
It's the least common denominator that they're willing to part with.
Hmm. Or it's like the huge tax write-offs that they get. I mean, Adam Ruins Everything's like explains like why billionaires are such philanthropists, but yet they're never doing it like selflessly. They always like have like self-interest in doing that too. It reminds me of this like big essay that I want to do about the Gates Foundations. The real agenda of the Gates Foundation. It's all about control, honestly. Um, is as other people like comment on that is where oh yeah the Illuminati also did a video on that. I should watch that video about Mr. Beast, but it's just like as yeah, he owns the chocolate company. How did this happen? And how does his track record with child labor, which is rampant in the chocolate industry? That's a great point, comrade. I thought because Nestle on record has said that like if they didn't use child labor, they wouldn't profit off of their chocolates.
Mhm.
They have to use child labor in order to make profits, as well. See, capitalism just like encourages that kind of thing too. Um, yes, exactly. When it's like EMC philanthropy can be okay, but like not when it's conflated with like altruism as well. Yeah,
I'm glad I'm getting I'm getting unemployment benefits this week because need to.
yeah. I hope that well, yeah, I definitely hope that you get that because like politics you got you sour. Joe to the 11 party. Go to the, Joe. No. Okay, the 11 party is not as bad as Two Girls One Cup at least, but like oh god,
God
it's just
damn it.
like
Go
11
clean off. Go
party.
talk to Tub Girl and get yourself cleaned off.
Oh, I don't remember Tub Girl. I don't no. I don't want to know about Tub Girl. I don't want to know.
You know what? You know what series I gotta get on DVD now. Now that I got Dario on DVD, I need to get Beavis and Butthead, all of it.
The original show, I think. They did their like remake not that long ago, but I don't think it was as good.
I think Mr. Beast is entirely crowdfunded. It's all. It started out as just crowdfunded YouTube bullshit. Now I think he has sponsors that let him do his thing.
Yeah, but I mean, 100 million like subs on YouTube. He's kind of like big deal. And again, I never heard about him until he came to Fortnite.
Mm.
Yeah, that makes Charlie and Chocolate Factory that's much darker. I agree. During the latest hmm? What?
Now, were you guys ever like fans of South Park? At least the early season of South Park?
I was, yes. I was a fan of South Park before. I still think that Bigger, Longer, Cut is an entertaining movie, honestly. But I have major issues with South Park now since like they were always like this white ring. They hate celebrities, but like they've also now taken that hatred not only to celebrities but also to wokeness.
Oh, Mr.
Uh,
Beast is an evangelical Christian.
mm,
So yeah, performative bullshit is kind of their brand.
yeah, yeah, again, I never know much about like Mr. Beast. Um, but it's just like yeah. Again, I like him. I only know of him from doing this is the sort of thing he does, just give people like money on YouTube, and it's just like so he does it for the clicks. During the latest rising egg prices due to avian flu about England best had like zero cases in their flocks, and raised their prices to 65%. Yeah. Oh yes, Isaiah, you is that a new like Star Trek costume you have?
Yeah, my dumbass was on camera. Yeah, yeah. Well, this is like one of like a bunch I have, but yeah, this is one of them.
Hmm.
'Cause I'm getting ready for like Infinity Con here in Tallahassee. So
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
basically.
Uh, yeah, Joe, he's not giving away his own money.
Yeah,
Is
he's got
or
corporate deals and brand deals.
is I mean this is the point that I make is where so people think of like well it's even people who would say that like oh rich people pay lots of taxes okay so money wise someone who pays like $1 million in taxes and I pay like a couple $1,000s in taxes yeah the rich person has paid more in taxes but if that rich person it makes $100 million a year and only pays $1 million in taxes if that uh And while it's like I pay like a couple $1,000s a year in taxes, is where this the couple thousand is a lot more percentage of my income as opposed to like someone who only pays $1 million in taxes and yet earns $100 million a year. That's only 1% of their like taxes so work. And that's also like, and that's true, Combine, but red and black is the best colors to fly. Absolutely, I agree.
You guys know who Jesse Ventura is? You might.
I am aware of Jesse the Body Ventura wrestler, and then like was in the Predator movie and decent in the Predator movie, but doesn't have to do much acting in order to do that. But also he was the governor of Minnesota for like one term.
He,
And to be fair to him, he didn't spend that much on his campaign and beat his opponent, and like it
his,
was.
sorry.
But go ahead.
No, he was saying billionaires shouldn't exist. So
I do
Or should
agree with that
millionaires?
statement.
cool on him.
I mean, I like some of his points, but it's just like the trans anarchist bus HRT 1312. Well done to that person to point that out. Is if Jesse Bonaventura has some interesting ideas, and I agree in like at least one step that like a maximum wage would be like good. To like if you make more than $100 million a year, or something like that, any amount you make above that is taxed almost 90% or 100% as it were, or just it's ridiculous for making that. I doubt that's ever going to happen, and I wanted to be like up to 10 million or something like that, or just like not have money whatsoever. Again, I'm communist. Um, and being transparent, so at least he's like isn't complete garbage, but yeah, he's not generous, and he's shown generosity. He shows, yeah. hmm but yes, the cap on my social
Ventura's
security.
a lib, but he's one of the good ones.
Mhm. Is like 100,000. So me, as much as I make, Bill Gates pays the same amount. Yeah, that's my point. Like Emily Chambers is just like I pay more in percentage of my income to taxes, 17% or
I
something
will
like that,
say,
or more.
Jesse Ventura did get me on. Like I was a pretty liberal person. Even okay, let me back off. I was never conservative, but I did. I was a Christian, and I did think. Okay, this is gonna sound really fucking dweebish and dorky, but there was a time where I was like, if I saw a girl in a miniskirt, I was like, that's too short. You know, I'm a fucking dork. But
Mm-hmm.
as I've gone older, like, you know, I've actually when I started listening to Jesse Ventura back in like 2013, he kind of actually started pushing me more to the left. I will
Well, that is a cool that like Ventura it did try to do that, and he's talked a lot about like that sort of thing from the industry. It's definitely to WWE. That's like Ventura tried to form a wrestlers union, which was like that would be cool and all. But yeah, McMahon who would never do that because wrestlers are independent contractors, and like yeah, not
Mm-hmm.
surprised that he got fired by that because of that.
he kind of is a gun nut, but then again, Karl Marx did say, didn't Karl Marx talk about that the
There are a lot of
workers?
leftist gun clubs.
Yeah, that's what I was
John Brown Gun
Redneck Rifle
Club,
Association.
Socialist Rifle Association. So like yeah,
John
again
Brown Club. Mm-hmm.
yeah, is again like like the meme says, like you go far left enough that you get your guns back as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I think Karl Marx. I hear people say Karl Marx was actually a proponent of gun ownership for working people.
Yes, it may have been. I don't
He was
know
an
that
advocate
this
of
is
revolution. He knew that that would take a fight.
yes, exactly.
I know I've heard Fidel Castro was pretty keen on guns. I don't know. There's a
It's,
lot.
Fidel Castro
I
won a revolution. He knew it would take a fight.
yeah, it definitely did. Uh, I don't know pretext. Yeah. hmm Uh, oh wait, yeah, there was like a article I was like looking up that I want to like read up on. Okay, I don't know how like good of the article this is, but I was just like sharing it with like everyone, and then I'll just like read it out loud as I go. Uh, the Red Cross is asking players to stop committing war crimes in games. The streamers are showcasing gamers on how they can follow the rules of law. Okay, forever's like something like that. Because yeah, you can fight virtual wars in Call of Duty or Warzone, and with that in mind, you might be like thinking and playing games like this without committing war crimes is impossible. However, streamers have been like working with the okay, so it's like streamers working with the Red Cross to show that like no, you can't actually do charitable thing in like these games and that sort of thing too.
Well, I
Also,
mean, the
Mark
thing
sucks.
is, until the bad guy is dead, he can still injure you perfectly.
Hmm.
So you have to kill injured opponents in video games.
Yeah, so that's well, so it's another way to play the game, but and if you have like other goals and like playing Warzone as it were, like to make sure you're not doing any war crimes, then yeah, you can do that. It's just like
Mm-hmm.
other players are going to play to like increase their kill to death ratio or like do well in the game of like well killing other people, and as it is a shooter. Also, Mark sucks. We need to shift into like more modern people. Oh yeah. Abdullah Assaline, comrade. That's the guy who was like who helped the Rojava revolution, and correct. Because I think some of his like writings is on like the Anarchist library. I'm sure like libcom.org as well. Because yeah, he was inspired by like Mary Bookchin and like other like thinkers in that kind of way for like democratic confederalism, if I remember correctly. Yeah, and he's actually still in jail, isn't he? If I remember
Founding
correctly.
member of the militant Kurdistan Workers' Party. Militant.
Yes, so it was.
Wikipedia is
He.
so fair and balanced.
Heard,
uh,
dude, like, is it true that you can write your own article on Wikipedia? Because like I always
sure.
thought,
You can try, but then the editors will come in and shift it to the right.
Yeah, they'll try. Yeah, exactly. And yeah, yeah, comrade about Call of Duty is just war crimes and American imperialists and apologies.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
"Ah,
Hey,
Call of Duty. I played the World War II ones back in the day, but
mm,
I like
I,
anyone who tells you like, oh, I play video games to like relieve stress, like violent ones, I'm like, okay, no, can't do that.
That's true. The sexual scholar, so is Leonard Peltier. Leonard Peltier is still in jail, and he's a political prisoner. Absolutely, I should study more about him, or about like AIM, like American Indian movement that like he was a part of, because like it was a part of the whole like standoff on Wounded Knee in 1975, which was and that was like the year that like Marion Brando was going to receive an Oscar, but like he allowed like an indigenous
To
like
Wounded
actress.
Feather, I think her name was.
Yeah, I think so. To give accept Marlon Brando's Oscar and then give a speech about like that the incident that was like happening in current events as well as like to condemn Hollywood for its depiction and like representation of like indigenous people as it were. To which like really upset John Wayne that he had to be restrained by 4 or 5 security guards or else he
Because
was
he
going to
was
go.
going to commit a hate crime.
Yeah, exactly. Because John Wayne's a piece of shit.
Glad he's dead. And his grave is a gender neutral bathroom. Just saying.
Yep. And that's right. That's how like she was mentioned on Democracy Now. She died recently. I think she did. Wounded. Yeah, she did die recently. Um, her Artuunga, who claimed the cops like shot at them, and though no powder burned on his hands and knees, and it was like shot 57 times. Yeah, Tuinga, the forest defender in Atlanta. Yeah, that still is going on too. As like there's several forest
It's
defenders and like
amazing how
other.
these people end up with no evidence that they've done anything, and yet they get brutally murdered by the cops.
Yep. All just for resisting because like that's the worst thing you can do to a cop is just like resist them and resist their like challenge their power over you.
But at least
And
we
so
know for
yeah,
a fact that Fred Hampton was actively attacking the police when he died
in his sleep.
after having been
That's
drugged by a federal informant.
no, if you're a cop and someone's resisting your arrest, like really, you can't find a way to like disarm that situation without killing that person.
No, the cops no, they were kind of like
Little feather, not
um
wounded feather.
no, ooh, no, I didn't know about that though. I'm right about that to research that. Oh yeah, Ryan Nichols did not do anything. Yeah, exactly. I think I'm familiar with that one. So what else is happening?
That's about it. I'm probably after this, I'm probably gonna, if someone cash apps me $15 to go to the corner store and give me a slice of pizza, I'm gonna watch some Star Trek TNG later.
Did, do you want to like give your cash app out as it were?
God damn it,
Little
sure.
Feather said she was of Apache and Yaqui ancestry, her mother of European descent. Her sisters said that she made that up, that her father was of Spanish Mexican descent, so Hispanic rather than Native American. So probably still indigenous heritage, just not.
So go ahead, John. Finish.
I was just trailing off. So just not really Apache or Yaqui.
My
A
Cash App
different
is.
indigenous heritage. She chose the one she wanted, I guess.
Hmm.
Can you guys see that?
S Pathfinder
Pathfinder
97
97. Is that. What is that? What are we looking at?
That's Cash App.
is Cash App. I don't have like much money. In fact, like with Cash App, can't probably do credit cards as were. Um,
I feel silly asking people for it, but like you said, that's that whole culture of can't ask for help. But
is I mean, and I'll like say this. Sometimes like even though like I will spend money on myself to like just like get like some frozen pizza sometimes or not just like the cheap 2.50 $2.50 ones. No, they used to be like $1.50. Now then became $2 and now 2.30 I think. The Totino's like square pizzas, rectangle pizzas, so you can fit in a toaster oven, but I don't have a toaster oven right now. Or at least not a working one. But then I was just like, no, I'm going to treat myself like in a freschetta pizza or like a at least a better than the Totino's pizzas, and yet that's only like $7 at most or anything like that. But yet it's strange how I feel like that $7 could have gone to like Phoenix and gone to like NAS and gone to like a Liquid as or and I should have just like still eat cheaply and that sort of thing too. Because like if I save money, the more money I have, the more money I can give to others. But like no, it's just like sometimes you just need that dopamine. Sometimes you just need to treat yourself. Nez and like Leniguin has like they've been struggling because they're constantly on like I'm sure Phoenix has been struggling and Joanna's been struggling that they've been like surviving mode for a long time. They sometimes do just want to treat themselves, want to like spend money on something or get something for themselves that isn't like food or necessities. Because yeah, you just need that dopamine sort of thing. That's part of the hierarchy of needs, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Yeah.
It is. And I agree. Yeah, EMC, I do sort of like a self-care too. Don't worry, I do spend money on myself. I buy fork knife skins or like I buy video games or just like energy drinks, like trying out new flavors of different energy drinks. This one's called Midnight Solar Sherbet. That's actually quite good. But so
Oh, this week coming up, I'm gonna make a bunch of videos about my Apollo cosplays that I'm hoping to do for Infinity Con. So there's that.
that's cool. Yeah, so Signature Intelligence like YouTube channel is like down in the doobly doo. And then yeah, is and then, like you also have the second channel of the Autistic Modeling Society. Um,
And I've actually been starting to read up on this.
You reading the technical
it's
manual?
You
Yeah,
are such a nerd. You're enjoying reading technical manuals. Yes. Now, it's not. That's very rare for us to find other girls who are into reading technical manuals as well. But
it,
they are out there. They are out there. There are girls that are also into trains and are into like cars as well, are into like other things. I actually know some people that are really into like mechanical stuff too, as well, and like coding and that sort of thing too.
I mean,
Um,
I don't read it all the time. I just read it for fun.
and
Looks
that
like a
is
good
like
toilet book.
Okay.
with that technical manual, you will know where like that toilet is on the Enterprise D. And okay, so is I agree. Social the sexual scholar Star Trek is okay. Star Wars is okay. Lord of the Rings is okay. Is I enjoy all those franchises though, but they are just okay and that sort of thing. The
Like I said, that's why I think I'm gonna be single because I'm just awkward. So yeah, so I'm just different than most people. So it is what it is, I guess.
it's something okay, I need to watch Babylon 5. I know how Babylon 5 is awesome. Um be careful, Scar. Don't you come for the trek. But like
And or is anarchist awesomeness.
I again like just like how I have not been watching like a new Trek as well. I've been watching much of new Star Wars apart from the movies. I think the last Star Wars thing I saw was Rise of Skywalker, which I don't hate. I enjoy that movie. I just have my issues with that movie, especially how
The Last
like
Jedi was pretty awesome too. Of
yes,
course,
last
Disney didn't have Star Wars under the same centralized control as it did Marvel at that point, so
Yeah, exactly.
What's his nuts? The guy who wrote a couple of bad TV shows, walked all of that back.
J.J.
J.J.
Abrams.
Abrams.
Mm-hmm.
I wonder if Jesse Gender reads a lot of Star Trek tech annuals.
Wouldn't surprise me.
She has. Yes, she has. I almost misgendered her. Sorry. But like Babylon 5 is a 10, Trek is a 8 out of 5, Wars is a 7. That's where I love hate the movies, the TV movies, that movie. Except Rogue One. I love hate that movie. So again, like I said, I have not seen any of the new Star Trek shows and so on. Some of which I do want to though as well.
Rogue One is a
Like I
movie.
heard
God.
I know Rogue One's a movie, and I did actually like Rogue One, and I actually liked Rogue One a lot. It was like pretty good.
I
Uh,
I had a crush on Jyn Erso back in the day.
who's that?
That's the that in Rogue One. That's the main antagonist.
Hmm. Oh,
Hold on, hold on.
honestly, it's just like main antagonist in Rogue One. I have to like remember that as well. And Solo was also all right. It was fine. I did have too much of a problem with Solo. It does that movie doesn't need to exist, but yeah.
It was
So
a
a
fine
couple of years.
movie. Not great. Not terrible.
Hmm.
This is Jyn Erso. This is like a
The
Rogue One.
protagonist.
wait. Did I say antagonist?
I think you did say antagonist.
Damn, fuck. So
That's what got me confused.
this is Felicity Jones is her. That's the actress's name. So
Mhm.
this is a I want to say this is like a 10 foot, 10 foot. Good God, this is a 10 inch tall statue. So
Mhm.
I got it from
That
I got it from Toys R Us the other like couple years ago. So
yeah, it has to be not the other day. It had to be a couple of years ago. The Toys R Us no longer exists, as sure. But no, that's like a cool, as like boys was called action figures, which are like everyone else would call them. Those are dolls. Those are dolls.
it's a
No, some people would say anything's a dildo if you're brave enough.
um
Oh, I wouldn't want to do that to like that character though.
no, I like Jyn Erso. I think she's a badass. So she she's taught on one of my bookshelves. So and no, I don't do anything weird with it. Don't even fucking ask that
The
question.
rebels are the bad guys according to Republicans, Joe. They're
Yes,
fighting
I
the
agree with
authoritarian
that.
government.
Well,
They are
fun
Yes,
Palpatine.
when I was watching Avatar: The Way of Water a couple months ago, there was like this like redneck guy and his like family who are in there, and he has like a pickup truck with like thin blue like all that bootlicker bullshit, and I was wondering in the movie who was he like cheering for, the Navi or the humans? Because your truck would say you should be on the colonizer side, not the Navi. So.
mm,
Colonizer, colonizer, you're a colonizer.
yes. Like with the way Star Wars and Marvel movies are being released, I think we should accept shows as a decipher. Yeah, I guess so. The reading of the movie that like the rebels and that's I mean George Lucas originally intended to like that deliberately the rebels would be like the Viet Cong, so there's
Mm-hmm.
that. It's just like George Lucas became a millionaire and he got rich and became a really good businessman. Hey, he was a really good
He
businessman.
was no, that was from day one. He was merchandising that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what the Ewoks were for. That's what the Star Wars Christmas special was for. The cartoons, the comic books, the books, all of it.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay, yeah, that Maquis over the Rebels. I agree with that, comrade. But I should look in. I gotta rewatch DS 9 and the other Star Wars, Star Trek shows for like the Maquis because, like, yeah, it's just like how they're often like made as the antagonist is like again, like I said when I was watching the Ghost in the Shell CGI like show and they're fighting against like rebels and that sort of thing too. Oh, I want to know who these rebels are like and stuff like that because honestly, I'm more and more if I watch media something like that, if someone said rebels or freedom fighters or something like that, I want to know what they are fighting for because I'm going to like be like rooting and cheering for them as it were. And then, but like, and speaking of like a pop culture detective, like a video, the one that he did on like how the Marvel Cinematic Universe, the Avengers are defenders of the status quo.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, the Marvel and just comic books in general, they have to have the superheroes just de facto be defenders of the status quo because order is important, that sort of thing
Yeah.
too. So when they
And
have like,
basically, most stories for like the last century at least, um, like the technical Greek definition, the villain is the protagonist because the
mhm,
protagonist is the first person to act in the story,
yes.
and the villains are the ones who are changing things, causing, disrupting things, and so on. So the villains are
Here's
pretty much always the protagonists in every story we tell.
my Kylo Ren right here.
Hmm. Some people did not find Kylo Ren and like as scary at all, but no, to like many women, Kylo Ren is scary, and that's like a different perspective as we're and knowing just anyone saying that, just
And
like
also, he
no,
was
that
supposed
makes
to be
sense.
kind of a dweeb. He was
Yeah,
an incel.
exactly.
He is.
Yes.
He's.
Mm,
I noticed that too. He definitely has a lot of that like angry young man shit to him.
mm.
Here's a Finn. I have a
Yep.
couple of others. I have a Kyra from Solo, so that's Amelia Clark's. That's the Amelia Clark one, and then I
Mm.
have Ray somewhere.
Seven like a story archetypes. Yeah, I can believe that because like I know of like
There's only one
that
story
was fun.
archetype. No, two. Things happen or things don't happen.
Yeah, it's I agree, and Dryer is a good looking man. He is cute. But it's like I know the three one. Person versus person versus beast, and person versus environment.
Yeah.
It's like overcoming the monster, rag to riches, the quest, voyage and return, comedy, tragedy, rebirth. Okay, yeah, I can see that. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Hmm. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love Star Wars. I don't love as much as Star Trek, obviously, but I fuck with Star Wars here and
It
there.
and it's interesting that like someone Jade Salamander has like said that like he grew up in a time where you couldn't be both a Star Wars fan and a Star Trek fan, so I think he's a more of a Star Trek fan and not a Star Wars fan. I forget which one he is. I think he's a Star Trek fan. Um, it, I hate overcoming in anything as a trope. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
No, no, those are all good looking men too. Isn't Michael Clark Duncan like passed away though? I think he
Oh,
tragically
yes, he
did pass.
died quite a few years ago.
That's sad. I guess like he was like still auditioning for things because like even though he was in the Green Mile and like has done like quite a bit of movies before, he never kind of reached a point where he never had to like audition anymore. He still auditioned for a lot of things too. Now again, it's been canon on Social Justice Alchemy that like in our asexual like episode, Jason Momoa is symmetrical. Because Jodie Ditcher Haircut can recognize that Jason Momoa is symmetrical.
Michael Coulter. He's a very
Who?
symmetrical person. He played Luke Cage in the Marvel series of the same name.
Oh, I still need to finish the Luke Cage series. I was like halfway through it. I was like liking it, and like I thought it was like pretty good, almost as good as Jessica Jones, which was a great series.
Mm.
Um, but I haven't finished watching that. I'm going to. I don't
Marvel
know
has
if
been a
I'm.
bit more willing to let directors and writers push the envelope on the TV shows than they have in the movies.
Mhm.
Are
Did
you,
they?
are you guys ready for a Black Superman one day?
Oh yeah, I
Ooh,
was ready for it yesterday.
I just can't wait. So all the racists just do it, do it.
No, they will hate it. They absolutely hate it. There were so many that were up in arms about like a gay Superman or bisexual Superman, and it's just like he's John Kent, Clark Kent's son, and he was bisexual anyway, and he's now Superman because yes,
Also,
people legacy heroes are a thing.
also a fucking alien that doesn't exist on our planet. He could be
Half
whatever race.
alien, somehow it works.
Is and yet to like is Jason Lee's character in Mallrats kind of like explains like how else that's not possible. Somehow it works and stuff like that because since like Kal-El's like powers are like from the yellow sun since he grew up on a red sun something like that, he does things like extraordinary something like that. So if he like goes off, it must be like a shotgun. The only way he can bang regular chicks would be like kryptonite condom. That would kill him. And the women that like have wounds to be handled like Superman's load or something like that would be like Wonder Woman, the Amazonian woman, or like a superpower woman or something like that, like Supergirl, but that would be EU. Not that I don't know if they're brother or sister or anything like that, but
They're
still kind of
cousins.
EU. No, okay, that's it. See, there you go, EU. Yep, Batman and Batgirl did it on in the Killing Joke, and it's just like
Only in the movie version.
only in the movie version. That's right. That's a good point. Only in the movie version. And yet they were the same characters from the Bruce Timm like animated series because it was Bruce Timm that like did that one. And it's just like why? Why? Why?
Six Hoth speeder.
Oh,
It's
that's awesome. That's a
I misplaced the I know where they are, but I think I misplaced the cannons, but it's still I think it still works.
yeah, snow speeder. Like and yeah, that's cool. So did you build that yourself or did you got a model kit for it?
This is so I went to Tampa Con like back in 2017, Tampa Bay Comic Con in Tampa Bay, Florida, and I bought this. This was like $10.
Mm-hmm.
Funny enough that this was on eBay, this would be like 100 because it still works too. I don't know.
Yeah. And also, we gotta remember, Superman is also a man of steel. So if he would actually like catch Lois Lane with his arms, being arms of steel and stuff like that, Lois Lane would be trisected.
Yeah,
Except
yeah.
that he doesn't just. It's a field that it happens. So she starts flying with him. That's how it works. It showed that
Okay.
in the original Superman movie with Christopher Reeves that she was just holding hands with him, flying alongside him, perfectly fine. That's how his cape is always fine as well because he has that invulnerability field. God, read a book, loser.
Hey, nerd.
Yes, we are all a bunch of nerds. And thank you, like the sexual scholar with a great article on Superman and sex and how it would kill Lois Lane.
Yeah.
They had a thorough discussion of that in Mallrats.
What
Yes,
mag
exactly.
what unique magazines do you guys have? Because I have one.
I used to I don't have like much of magazines as it were. I used to be subscribed to like Game Informer when like I played a lot of video games then. I so sometimes play video games, but not a lot. I don't have any magazines now, honestly. And honestly, if they would be Rolling Stone, okay, that's cool. Oh wait, that's a special Rolling Stone one with like Billie Eilish on it.
Yes. So I have that, which is next to my old prom picture.
Nice. Hey, you went to prom. I didn't.
I went to prom with a girl.
Yes, you did. I didn't. My siblings have. At least no. I think only my older sibling who actually went with the girl, but she was just a friend who like was marrying someone else, and it was like yes, it was out of pity.
Funny enough, I think this was out of pity too, because they were like, oh, he's okay, he's like a senior. Let's hook him up with a girl, and we know Isaiah, he's kind of a dork, but cool. He's a sweet dork. He's a quirky black guy, like Geordie LaForge when they wrote his character so badly. Funny enough, I actually realized because I LeVar Burton has definitely talked about that recently, where yeah, there was some weird racism going on there with how they wrote his character.
He was a huge fan of like Star Trek, so he was just like absolutely loved it that he gets to be on the show, and I don't blame him. But yeah, third
Whoopi Goldberg
episode,
too.
Code of Honor. Hmm? Yeah.
Yeah, he like I'm like I don't know about like Federation law and workplaces, but you that could have probably gotten him kicked out of Starfleet. You have like a holographic of this like technically this like your boss who designed the engine. That's I don't know, man.
Yeah, that was a weird episode. I
I
like I just remembered that though that from like C shots like the Trek actually on like Jordan the Forge as well.
Mhm.
I didn't
Yeah,
like creepy either. I just thought, oh, it's just a okay. But I'm like now that I'm like aware of it, and this is actually what woke means. It's
Mhm.
like, yeah, it's a little awkward, dude. I'm not gonna lie, and this is coming from me, who's had a lot of awkward things with women. I'm like, even I think, yeah, that's a little fucked up, dude. You might not want to do that. I don't know.
Mhm. Uh, Irish history and okay, so the social scholar is like sharing some of the magazines or other like neat things that like she has, like the complete works of like H.P. Lovecraft, the box set, the entire 10-year series runs of Calvin Hobbes. No, that's awesome. The Calvin Hobbes thing too.
Oh, I got Calvin Hobbes. Come on. I got my mom got me into Calvin.
Unfortunately, we don't have time to go through everyone's libraries.
No, no, no.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
I
Calvin.
got a lot of books I still need to read, but like they're like yeah, they're all over there. But anyway, yeah, we're at the end of the show anyway. I was thought that we were going to like end early because we ran out of things to talk about, but then we just like they vamp and like just chat for like another like couple of minutes to like
I
So
was the
same as
black guy
always.
without
yeah,
my
same as always.
without my quirky bullshit. I did help extend the time.
As always. So thank you everyone for like tuning in and watching. So it's SJA, so YouTube channels are down below at the Sinister Intelligence and Assisted and Modern Society. Don't forget to check out Isaiah Taylor's Instagram at like Cult Culture 92.
Actually, I have a new one. I have a new one.
New
Um,
Instagram?
yep, because my phone broke, so I had to get a new one. So I couldn't log
Oh,
in. Dumb as shit. So my new one is Isaiah Taylor, ISIAH Taylor, lowercase 60. Look for a USS Enterprise D. Look for this. That's my new one.
okay. Yeah. All right. Cool.
Um,
Um, let's see. Isaiah Taylor. Let's see if it's like a in the Instagram does pull me. Okay, yeah, yeah. Here we go. I think I find you.
if you see a bunch of Isaiah Taylors, those are like old accounts that I have to set up because I know I actually know dick about like social media, so I don't know how to get back into my own account.
Two-factor authentication, or maybe you can like ask for it. So
Just
like,
email.
yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you seem to follow your own accounts too, as well. So it's you in like a Star Trek uniform, right?
Yep.
Okay, this is like Isaiah Taylor's new Instagram right here. I'll paste it into the so Isaiah.Taylor 1210. All right. It's like don't forget your links up page. Like Phoenix's birthday is this Saturday, so like Phoenix would like to have like money to be able to celebrate their birthdays. And congrats Phoenix on surviving for as long as you have, because yeah, it's an accomplishment in and of itself.
Oh,
Uh, go ahead.
how old is Phoenix gonna be? I know it's probably not good.
35.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they were born in 87. Or 36.
Kick ass.
I
If he's 35, I want to say 87 because TNG is 35 years old.
Yeah, yeah. So like they are as old as Star Trek Next Generation, absolutely. Um And I'm Summer Geek on Summer Geek on YouTube, Summer Geek on Twitch. I will be streaming later today on Twitch. Not sure I'm gonna be streaming. Probably I don't know. I'll see. It'll be a surprise of what I decide to stream. Summer Geek on YouTube. I haven't posted a video in 5 months. I'll have to get back into it eventually, especially with May 1st coming up. Actually, I got some videos on like May 1st that I can release that I read art essays on like years ago. And then Summer Geek and co-host and Tumblr as well. And Twitter, if I don't post as often as I do, but I occasionally do post. And John Brockman, you're part of another podcast, aren't you?
Indeed. Dungeons and Debacles, where we're fighting an evil red dragon cult. Very fun. Very different.
All right, with that, take care, everyone. Have a good one. Stay safe. Practice self-care. Don't forget to take your meds if you haven't already. And stay
Yep.
awesome, my friends.
My medicine is THC gummies. Because fuck this opioid shit.